Hello. Today I would like to talk about men's world. Before I talk about the topic, please hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. Thank you and God bless. Now, when the phrase men's world is spoken, we think of humanity and humans because that's what humanity means, right? So the Bible describes men's world as sinful and corrupt and unrighteous. 1 John 2:16. Men's world is full of lust, the verse says. But today I will be showing you three proofs that these societies are jungle-like civilizations who contradict their moral standards. Number one, abortion. Abortion is practiced throughout the United States and the world. Let's ask ourselves these questions. Is ending a human fetus moral? Well, it's a scientific fact that a human fetus is human life. The baby needs the mother because it cannot get food since it's inside the womb. The baby processes the food. A living being can only count if it can grow, respond to stimuli, and develop. The U.S. Code 18, Statute 1111 states in paragraph A, murder is the unlawful killing of a human being with malice aforethought. The idea of killing a fetus is the same as murder stated in the U.S. Code 18, Statute 1111. The Supreme Court of the United States doesn't regard the fetus as human life. That's moral argument one. A person can say that a fetus has no rights, meaning it's not a living being. You don't have to be a human to have rights. Animals also have rights. That's moral argument two. One of the rights of a pregnant woman is aborting the fetus at any time in the pregnancy period. The people know when a baby was planned, it has infinite amount of worth. But when the baby was unplanned and probably came from a rapist, people approves aborting the baby, making it less valuable. Here's the problem. Is the fetus worth or not worth it? For example, why does society condemn fetal homicide and approve abortion? It's because they are hypocrites and don't have proper moral standards. It is unfair for the child to get aborted because he was deformed genetically. That's moral argument three. Now, what about assisted suicide? Here's the problem with the term. Suicide is when someone kills himself or herself. Murder is the act of terminating another individual unlawfully. So should assisted suicide be called permitted murder? Yes, of course. That's moral argument one. Doesn't killing patients make physicians murderers? Yes, that's moral argument two. In fact, assisted suicide doesn't have to be permitted by the patient, which is called involuntary assisted suicide. The family of the patient can get money from the patient, which is a will. That's moral argument three. Now, what about the transgender ideology? Is it corrupt? Sure is. The transgender ideology believes a man or a woman can become the opposite gender. That is mentally unsound. No matter how many surgeries are performed or how many hormones are injected, the individual is still the same because the DNA says everything about the individual's blueprints. That's moral argument one. Also, the transgender ideology is also child abuse. According to the American College of Pediatricians, the public promotion of transgenderism constitutes a form of child abuse. Conditioning children into believing that a lifetime of chemical and surgical impersonation of the opposite sex is normal and helpful is child abuse. Endorsing gender discordance as normal via public education and legal policies will confuse children and parents, leading more children to present themselves to gender clinics, where they will be given puberty-blocking drugs. This, in turn, virtually ensures that they will choose a lifetime of carcinogenic and otherwise toxic cross-sex hormones and likely consider unnecessary surgical mutilation of their healthy body parts as young adults. That's moral argument two. The transgender ideology destroys reason also. A fundamental part of logic and reason is the idea that things have a purpose. The purpose of our eyes, for example, is to provide us with sight. The wings of a bald eagle exist to provide it with flight. Our lungs exist in order for us to breathe and absorb oxygen. And our ears exist in order to hear. Likewise, the primary purpose of human sexuality is procreation. However, transgenderism, like homosexuality and feminism, deny this principle and therefore attack human reason itself, which is a form of deliberate madness. Also, the transgender ideology is tyrannical. On May 13, 2016, the Obama administration issued a sweeping diktat ordering all public schools to allow members of one biological sex to use the showers, locker rooms, and restrooms of the opposite sex. In one fell swoop, the federal government imposed transgender bathrooms on all public schools in the nation. States that oppose the measure have been threatened with severe penalties, such as the loss of federal funds. So, as you can see here, the transgender ideology is not only psychotic, but it's also tyrannical, and it gets more tyrannical. All right. For instance, when a teacher doesn't call the student, a transgender student, may I emphasize, by his or her pronouns, the teacher can get 4 months in prison just for not calling the student by their preferred pronouns. That is tyrannical and should not be in the statutes, in the Supreme Court. These are the 3 proofs, the 3 points that I wanted to state out to you so you could trust the Bible and not humanity. Because humanity right now is corrupt. Thank you, and I hope you have a great, blessed day. And share this video with other people. God bless you.